It's just Justin. Yourself?
Justin, nice to
Is it
meet you. I'm
Naomi?
Naomi. Yeah,
Okay, bet.
hit
No,
me
I've
up.
seen
What
a
do you
few
want
of
to
your
talk
lives.
about?
You're pretty constructive. So trans women
Thanks.
are women. I do believe that. I could probably, do some drag and probably slay, and be feminine and be a woman. More than a lot of these other women. No, I'm just kidding.
Do
But
you
all
want to be
real
a woman?
talk. No. No, I'm a man,
Okay,
but
that's fair.
I like a lot of I flash pink. I played with Barbie dolls as a kid. I mean, I like all that stuff. I'm totally
Yeah,
spectrum, so I
totally.
get that. It's cool. It's cool. That's valid. But biological sex, that's where it's kind of like, okay, cool. How is it not binary when there's like it's just male and female? Because that's where I draw the line. Like, I'm all cool with this all other shit, but like sex is like, isn't that like a staple, like male female?
Well, sex is absolutely
And I don't want
real.
to
When,
hear the
when I say that,
intersex. I don't want to hear. I'm
well,
sorry.
wait,
I
wait,
don't want
wait.
to hear the intersex.
That's
Because what?
why biological sex is not binary, because intersex people exist. A binary is a very specific type of distribution, such that there's only ever two outcomes. But there's more than two possible outcomes with biological sex. There is a wide variety of intersex conditions that exist, and it shows that these biological sex characteristics, the actual things that matter for determining one's biological sex, they do exist more so along a spectrum, and it's more so bimodal than binary. Are you familiar with the term bimodal?
Yes, but at the same time, it's not like a third. Like it's not like okay, like a third gap, like a third different thing. Like I don't know if this is funny, but like penis, vagina, and like a third thing. So it's either a
Ambiguous
mixture, right?
genitalia.
It's either one or the other.
Yeah, well,
But it's
so
it's it's not
whether
a
actually,
third.
let me explain this. Whether or not something that is a mixture of like two extremes is its own third thing is kind of a matter of perspective. Do you see that lamp behind me?
The lamp?
Yeah, do you see like that colored lamp behind me?
That's a lamp. Nice. That's a nice lamp.
Yeah, you can see it? Perfect. How many colors are depicted on that lamp?
There's a lot of yeah. So you think sex is a spectrum? Okay, I get it. I get it.
Yeah,
Um,
biological sex is more so bimodally distributed along a spectrum. Obviously, there are two rough averages at male and female that most of the people fall roughly into, but there is a wide variety of intersex conditions that form that more rare middle portion of the spectrum.
okay,
And whether or not that makes its own color purple, or if we just say that it's a bluish pink or a pinkish blue, is kind of a matter of perspective, right?
touche. But isn't that lamp like two-dimensional? So if it's a spectrum, why can't it be like a whole circle? Like why can't it be just whatever?
What do you mean? I think that when it comes to biological sex, it seems pretty clear that it goes roughly in two directions along a spectrum. That's kind of it's just some things make more sense to kind of lay out along a spectrum versus like I guess a circular continuum. There are lots of different ways we can model different distributions, but the one that just makes the most sense for biological sex is a bimodal spectrum.
So are you bringing it down to like percentages? Like I can be like 74% male and then like 26% female, like or what?
I think it's kind of hard to exactly specify like an exact percentage, but you can talk about how like individual
See,
sex
this is where it gets
characteristics can
confusing
differ. Well, yeah, biology is very confusing. And
because it's something it's
just because our human brains like to, boil down complicated subjects into nice little binary boxes doesn't mean that in objective reality it is a nice little binary box. That's just our pattern seeking brain trying to find patterns where well, there kind of are some, but they're not as consistent as we'd like to think they are.
I mean, we are infinite energy for sure. We can be whatever we want. We can expand to all that. I'm all for it. Um, but at the end of the day, like, isn't there only like male and female, or both, or neither? Like, there's not a third. There's not a third. Do you know
So
what I'm
what?
saying?
That's
Like,
still
there's
that's
not
still
a
a
third.
spectrum.
There's not
Yeah.
like male, female, and then like whale. There's not a third thing. Does that
Right.
make
But
sense, or
it's
am
still
I
a
am I
spectrum, but
crazy?
like that's still not a binary. Even if you acknowledge that there's like male, female, neither, both, to varying extents, that's at least four different options, not two.
But at the end of the day, it's still like binary. It's still.
Wait, what do you think binary means? Because I acknowledge like a binary is something that only has two
like
outcomes.
a bicycle. A bicycle has what? 2 wheels?
Yeah. So if we're talking about like
bi, what is a bi like? They like 2 sexes. Bisexual, 2 sexes. So is bisexual not even a thing anymore?
What about bisexual people? Bisexual people can also be attracted to non-binary people. They're like typically the definition of bisexual is 2 or more genders that people are attracted to.
Doesn't it get confusing though?
Yes, biology is very confusing.
No, yeah, it is. But doesn't it? Okay, that leads to my next point, to the kids and everything like that. So what are you teaching them?
About what?
So everything that we learned, I'm sorry, I'm 90s kid, is invalid. Because now there's just like male, female, both, neither, all of the above.
Are you asking like how I'd explain kind of like biological sex not being a binary to like elementary school children?
I'm just saying, why are we changing something that's been like set in stone for the last like I don't even know how long?
Well,
why are we changing it now? What's the deal?
We care about accuracy and truth, and if we can come up with a model that's more accurate to what biological sex really is, then, you know, especially as adults and as people that care about science and facts, I think that we should go with the most accurate model. And this kind of bimodal spectrum model of biological sex is simply far more accurate and useful than the binary model. I mean, intersex people, transsexual people, we have a unique position on the biological
looking
sex
into
spectrum
this?
That gives us unique medical needs and biological functions. And I think it's important to recognize this as such, especially in a medical system where we would have unique medical needs.
No, I'm sorry. I disagree. Scientists, why aren't scientists looking at more important things? I'm not saying this is not important, but like if you're putting all your eggs in the basket,
like there's a lot of scientists out there and they have like lots of different projects they work on.
And science, I don't know. I have a different belief on science because that is, I think, a religion in itself. But anyways...
what? Wait. How is science a religion? Science isn't about like presuming something. Science is about the diligent process of discovering facts about the world. There's no presumption. Religion requires presumption. Like, I presume that a God created the universe.
What does science believe in?
Scientists are doing no such presumption. Scientists believe in truth. They believe in discovering empirical facts about the world.
Science is not always truth.
Okay, so just because science can be wrong sometimes, we have an iterative process of refining things until we reach truth. That's what science is.
So science can't be deceiving. Science can't... It's up to all these things. Science can be anything, right? Science is a spectrum.
Science can be... Science can be wrong sometimes, but if you think that something is wrong with our current understanding of science... What you can do is you can present evidence which disproves that, and you can update and change the science. So if there's something about modern science that you disagree with, you have the burden of proof of submitting
There's a lot,
evidence
but we're not going to get into that. There's a lot.
Wait, what's wrong with modern
Let's
science?
stay on topic.
What's wrong with modern science?
I love science, okay? I'm just saying there's a lot of pseudoscience and there's a lot of beliefs where you can just say something and then you can put a lot of mathematical equations that people don't understand, like Albert Einstein type shit, where you can write a whole chalkboard of fucking equations and no one understands it, but it makes sense because it's relative, right? That's how we do with evolution and stuff like that. We can examine it, but macroevolution and stuff like that. We can examine it, but macroevolution's never been proven, none of that. But I'm not going into that. I'm saying on sexes. I'm just saying, like, why can't we just
we have like evidence for evolution, and that's why it's a prevailing scientific theory.
No, there's no macroevolution. A fish is not turned into a butterfly and then turned into a vulture.
You know about like transitional fossils, right? That's our strongest evidence for evolution on a large scale. You don't think that transitional fossils exist?
Show me one. Do you have one?
That's the craziest thing I've ever heard.
They don't.
Wait, you just don't believe in the existence of transitional fossils? This is literally something that archaeologists have known very well for a long time.
Yeah, and
let me explain. There are fossils that exist that are.
So do you know about the giants then that they've dug up, the giant fossils?
It forms this time-based archaeological record of how species have changed over time. That's what a transitional fossil is. You're so by the book.
You're so by the book. Like, do you ever? Okay, like you're very knowledgeable by the book. Okay. Okay, facts. Yeah, because your
Yeah,
book
facts
tells
are
you
in
that.
books.
Have
Of
you
course, I'm
ever?
going to be by
Do
the
you look
book. If
into
books
any
have
of these
facts.
other kind of like alternative like theories, or are they not your theory? Like, do you ever
Well,
look
sure.
into
I
any
look I
other
look
kind of
into
spectrum
things.
with anything?
Wait. I look
With any
into.
kind of thing?
Hold up. Can I explain? I look into different theories and hypotheses, and I think that we should support the one that has the most evidence. And
Oh
evolution
yeah, I
simply
wonder
has the
why that's
most
supported the
evidence behind
most.
it
Oh, why? Because it has the most money supported?
because it has the most evidence, such as transitional fossils.
Any you can provide evidence with whatever
See,
you want to
here's the
do. If
thing.
you have
You
that many
can't even
people
wait,
studying
wait.
and putting money
You
into
can't,
it, you're going to find
Justin,
evidence
stop.
regardless where you go.
Justin,
That's
you
where
can't
science is
even
wrong.
explain, Justin, stop. You can't even explain transitional fossils, so you have to pretend that they don't exist. That's how crazy
Transactional
your
fossils is
worldview
a
is.
species going from this to that. There's no. Where are they? Do you see them in museums?
Yes, they do.
All the
They
shit
literally
you see
exist
in
in
museums of
archaeological
dinosaurs,
museums.
that's all false. It's all false. Are they real bones? Oh no, they hide them. Why are they hiding? Why do they hide so many things? What are they hiding from you? That's what I don't understand. You're
Are you
so
saying
like,
that dinosaur bones are fake?
I'm saying I have an open mind to everything, and I hear a lot of different things, and I take in,
Wait,
what's realistic.
how do you know that the dinosaur bones in museums are fake?
They are.
What's
Have
your
you bet?
evidence that they're fake?
What is my evidence?
Yeah, what's your evidence that dinosaur bones are fake?
Because I literally went to the fucking museum when I was like Lethbridge, Drumheller, only family trip I ever went to, and it was cool as shit. But nah, they're not real
What's your
bones. You
evidence
can.
that they're fake?
What's your evidence that they can't produce a bone like that or make it? Do you know China, where everything we get from?
What are you talking? You know that like scientists have like
I'm
observed these
talking
bones
about
under like
China can
microscopes and
manufacture
stuff.
bones to look like some
You can
weird.
you can literally read the research papers about where these bones are discovered, all the properties we've discovered about them. Like this research exists in the public record.
Of course it does, because that's what they want you to know.
Okay, so
Do you know
let's
that
just,
you don't
wait,
even know the true history of mankind? You
do
don't
you
at
really
all.
think that it's
Do
more
you believe in the
plausible?
history books?
Wait.
So you
Do
literally
you
believe in the
really
history
think
books.
do you really think it's more plausible that Chinese people like invented dinosaur bones and then shipped them over to like archaeological burial sites and then buried them there, and then like American scientists and other like countries across the world discovered these bones independently that were placed by the Chinese to deceive us, and then we wrote papers about them and like all
You're
these
saying,
facts that can be independently
oh my
verified about
God,
them,
where do
and
I
all of
start?
this is just
So you're
fake and like planted by the Chinese. That's more reasonable to believe than dinosaurs used to walk the earth, they died, and we found their bones in the ground. That's
And
really
then
more
a
believable to
giant
you.
meteor hit the Earth and wiped out everything. Yeah, no. Okay, first of all, you're not digging for a whole set of whatever dinosaur you want to call it. Never happened. It hasn't. So they just dig up these old bones and they can just play like Lego with these bones to create, and then you get like information,
Yes,
and
you can do
you can
things like
use
DNA
computer, and
markers.
you can see like, okay, this is that way, but that's not that way. They weren't like that. So what about the giant
Wait.
bones? Have you ever heard about them?
You can do things like do DNA sequencing to figure out, oh, these bones came from the same species or the same
Okay, so
creature. And it's a
let's cut this
process of
short.
figuring out where they fit together logically. It is a bit of a
So you
puzzle,
think we
but
came from
we can work
monkeys?
together to solve that puzzle.
So you think we came from monkeys or what? Or apes
I
or
do think
whatever,
that I do think
ancestors?
that human beings evolved from they're ape-like ancestors, not like
See,
the
that's
exact
where
same
we
as
got.
monkeys.
We're different. We're different. You totally go by the books, God forbid. And I'm kind of more abstract, and you know, I'm staying with it, but I also like to hear other points,
You
because a
have
lot of
no
people like cut the.
evidence. Like you like to act
How
like
do you?
you're this
How do I have
open-minded
no
person, but
evidence?
you're open-minded to everything but science
They
for some
wiped all
reason.
the evidence. So if I was ruling the world, wouldn't I want someone? Wouldn't I wipe all the evidence and write the book how I wanted it and make people believe that by doing as I say?
I don't think that like the president or whatever has that much influence over
I'm not
academia.
talking about the president. The president has nothing to do with it. He's a fucking string on puppets. Do you not know, like,
Wait,
higher above? Like, think, elevate your mind.
who rules the world, Justin? Can you explain that to me?
Who rules the world? That's a great question.
Please, I would love to be enlightened.
It's not good people.
Who
Because
is it?
I learned this at the age of like what, 8, when I knew the world was not run by good people. Because if it was, we'd have free energy. There would be no poverty. There would be no fucking money bullshit. There would be none of this. Does no one ever like fathom this utopia of the potential of the human species that we have? No one unlocks this. No, because they keep us hidden from it. They've keep us battling and arguing against each other, divided and restricting everything from us, and keep us brainwashed, indoctrinated, bullshit education system. Cool to an extent, not really though.
Okay, no, Justin, I really need to wait, Justin, I really need to know where you're going with this, because if you're about to say like it's billionaires exerting like political influence and stuff, then who
runs the money?
I'm going to soft agree with you. I don't think that like billionaires like taint all of academia, but I do think that they exert an undue amount of influence over like our political systems or economic systems.
Okay, so what's your view on Hollywood? What's your view on Hollywood?
Oh gosh, are you really gonna JQ this?
I'm gonna go to no. I wanted to stay on topic. Okay, so. Let's
wait. I was literally
staying
on topic. We were talking about who's responsible for why the world sucks, and I'm telling you it's billionaires.
Why the world sucks? Because the elites got control. And
who are the elites?
I don't know. I could go off rocker and say a little bit about that, but I don't know if y'all are ready for that.
Wait, please
do you believe
enlighten me, Nick Fuentes.
Do you believe in like I don't know, what do they call them? ETs, I don't know.
Extraterrestrials, like aliens?
Yeah. Is that valid?
I have not seen enough. Like, I have not seen enough convincing evidence of like aliens existing.
Well, like, okay, all right. So,
wait, do you think that aliens are real?
I think there's some. Yeah, for sure. Obviously, where did we get our technology from? Where did we get our technology from? Are you kidding me? You just think we learned all this?
We made it. Wait, no. What? You think that?
How did we make it? Where do you even have? Where do you have the thought of it?
Wait. I actually study computer science for. Wait, Justin. I study computer science for a living. I know kind of how these things actually work. We literally discovered this, and it was an iterative process of science that allowed us to make technology and make technology better and better and stronger and stronger.
How do you discover language? How do you discover math? How do you discover certain things if you're just a fucking ape? How do you discover...
You do know that humans have higher thought, like cognition abilities than like apes,
yeah,
right?
Where'd they get that from?
We evolved it.
From where?
It was an evolutionarily advantageous...
It was from a higher species.
That then...
Higher species? Is that what you're saying?
I'm saying that it was an evolutionarily advantageous mutation.
So we just came from like
became predominant
big bang, boom. We have a little element, we're just a particle.
We literally evolved metaconsciousness over time because it's evolutionary advantageous.
You're so wrong. You're so wrong. So we're just a single cell, and then we become a fish, and then we become like a bird, and then we transition to a monkey, and then we get consciousness, and we're a human. What are you saying? That's not fucking real at all.
Species evolving is an iterative process.
Yeah,
but it's not like a fish becomes an ape.
Are you that naive to not believe in other fucking beings like higher intelligence? Do you believe in space? Do you believe in all that or what?
Yes, space is real.
Okay, so where's the higher intelligence?
We have not found any.
So, what about the Roswell? What is that act where they had the crashing of
do you know
the
like
UFO
how
and whatnot?
Freaking big space is? Like,
I know everything. I don't want
to. You can't travel faster than the speed of light. And I mean, like the nearest galaxy to ours is what, multiple light years away, and the chance of an intelligent life
Have you heard of a portal?
Is astronomically small.
Have you heard of a portal?
How do you make portals, Justin?
How do you make portals? I don't know, because that's out of our dimension. We're not in that higher consciousness to know this stuff. But it's fucking out there and it's available.
I have not seen any credible evidence to suggest that portals
Because you wouldn't! If I was a higher being, I would make myself to not be able to see you. So how do you know about this stuff? How do you know about like supernatural things? Do you believe in God?
I'm saying that we don't have any evidence to support these supernatural things.
Therefore,
we shouldn't believe in them without evidence.
So a miracle, you're all about the book. So if a miracle happens, how do you explain that?
If what happens?
A miracle.
A miracle? Well,
Yeah,
there's a scientific process behind every coincidence.
your scientific processes are literally getting out of hand. You're so by the book that you're so narrow-minded to other aspects of like how reality could
Wait,
be and
Justin,
how
I
other
am
conceptions
completely
can.
open. Wait, Justin, I'm completely open to being disproven about
Oh,
everything. You just need to
Naomi,
present
Naomi.
evidence to disprove something to me. If you can
I don't
present
need
credible
evidence.
evidence that disproves my claims, I will
If I
change
was
my
God,
mind because I am receptive to evidence. I'm receptive to empirical data. I am receptive to facts about the world. But you're playing this crazy game of what if. You don't have any facts. You
you're
don't have any
so
evidence.
you're so by it though that you're just like stapled in concrete boots to it that you can't even reach to anything that's out of your spectrum. Is that a good metaphor for you or no?
So wait,
Like you
you're
can't hear
upset that
no
you're
one
upset
else's
that wait,
opinion.
Justin, you're upset that I'm not going to take claims based on faith and that I need evidence for claims. Is that really
It's
upsetting to
not
you?
faith. It's not faith. So do you
If
believe
it's not
everything
faith,
that
then you
they
would have to have evidence. So what's your evidence for all this stuff?
the evidence is wiped out? It's done. It's held in the Vatican. What are they holding in there?
Oh, so you're taking it by
Do
faith.
you literally
You're
believe
taking
in the
wait,
whole?
Justin, you have
Hold
faith
up. No, hold
that
up.
the evidence
In
is covered
history,
up.
you
You
actually
don't have evidence.
okay, my evidence is what about those like crazy cathedral buildings that you see? Like the ginormous they got like antennas on them. They're almost like I don't know if you know Nikola Tesla, but like conductors for electricity. Do you know about those giant buildings that man built in the back in the 1800s where they were galloping on horses?
Yeah,
They built the China Wall galloping
we've
on
known about
horses?
archaeology for a long time. Even the ancient
Nah,
Egyptians built
bro.
pyramids.
Naomi, no, you don't know anything about the true history of yourself at all because you just believe in the textbooks. Napoleon did this and do that. No, there's so much unwritten and hidden mystery that you don't care to or even
Wait, I want to be clear. I believe
have
that there are
interest in.
things that have happened that haven't been recorded in the history books, but I think that if there is something that has happened that matters, that's important, you should be able to find and present evidence for it.
Oh, okay. So if I destroyed an empire, and erased the whole history of them, and then wanted to rewrite my own history,
That sounds incredibly
how does that
difficult
sound?
to do.
That sounds incredibly
difficult
what
to
life
do.
is, and that's incredibly what they did. And you are so brainwashed to
We
it
have
that you
we
don't have
literally
no
have
clue.
evidence of destroyed
No, we don't.
civilizations. We have seen
Yeah,
destroyed
that
civilizations
are
and we've
greater
seen
than ours because they
evidence,
had higher
aftermath, things left
technology.
behind.
Oh my god.
Wait, there's literally evidence left behind from destroyed civilizations. Like, that's how we know about these things.
What, like are you saying the pyramids?
Well, the
You're
pyramids is
saying
something that was left behind by ancient
somebody
Egyptians.
on a fucking saddleback horse just galloped over there carrying concrete blocks and then lifted them up man by man up the hill? Are you serious right now?
Do you know about pulleys? The Egyptians used pulleys, right?
You're kidding. So they brought cranes to the desert and pulleyed it up.
Wait, you can make pulleys out of rope and wheel. Like, it's actually really
This is
simple.
back in way before time, before pulleys were even fucking considered. Do you know that?
Didn't the ancient Egyptians use pulleys? Wait, let's look this up.
No, they didn't. Maybe they did, but they probably used like some higher power. So you don't think there was a higher power in existence before us?
Wait. We literally have.
Hello. Answer my question.
Hold up.
You don't think there was a
this.
higher?
We have 1 sec. I'll answer your question. Let me explain this first because
Cool.
I want to present facts to people.
Cool.
So
we got pulleys. We can pulley anything up in the air. Cool.
Justin, let me explain this real quick. I'll let you talk. You just got to hushy poo for 1 minute, okay? So we have hieroglyphic drawings of the ancient Egyptians depicting themselves using pulleys to lift things higher. That's how they lifted things like pyramid blocks. It was pulleys. It's science.
Don't
it's
get
not
into
magic.
hieroglyphs
It's not
because you know
aliens.
nothing about that.
They just understood how you can use pulleys to lift up heavy objects.
I'm not saying they're fucking aliens.
You said there was
so
aliens.
in these I don't know. They're outer. So extraterrestrial. So extra is more land,
Wait,
right?
what was the question you wanted to ask me? You said you have a specific question for me.
I don't know. Resorting to hieroglyphs and like if you would take that in consideration. So how do like all these pyramids like have hidden knowledge of like all these documents, and then being like, do you know the pyramid is actually like a conductor of electricity? Do you not believe that we should all have free energy? Look at Nikola Tesla.
So
There's
I do
energy
believe
everywhere around
that
us.
we should democratize energy. What's your evidence that the pyramids are like superconductors or whatever?
Because have you checked the mathematical like location of where they're built and the precision of where they're built? And it literally results to my last saying of like all these giant cathedrals and all these massive. They're probably not a lot of them are existent in our time because they literally tried to destroy them, but no man could create that with our technology. There's no man that can, and I don't care what you say. I don't care if you put a million men. They couldn't create the articulate and the attention to detail of these buildings. It's not possible. In that time and age, it's not. So there's a lot of part of the history that is rewritten or lost and forgotten.
First off, you would need to present evidence that like these were actually used for like electricity and stuff.
Evidence of what evidence do you want?
The fundamentals of electricity are actually
Nikola Tesla.
Nikola
Tesla is my evidence.
Somebody who is curious and exploring and trying different things is bound to discover electricity eventually. Like the basics of it are actually not all that complicated. Like
it's not at all, and it's free everywhere. It's in my room. It's in your room. We are electric beings. It's fucking ecstatic. It's everywhere. So why can't we conduct that for everyone?
Well, I would love to democratize energy, but the problem is billionaires that are trying to hoard this.
What else are they hoarding?
Mostly wealth.
Oh, so no knowledge, nothing else?
I mean, what knowledge do you think they're hoarding?
If you were in power, what knowledge would you want to hoard?
I don't think that just like an individual billionaire can choose to like hoard the knowledge of like the world, but we do have evidence that like billionaires did try to cover up things like climate change.
You don't understand that these people have bad intentions. Like, did you not ever wonder as a kid, like, why, like, oh, hey, mama, there's like this homeless man over there. Why is he homeless? Why can't we, as a human civilization, because we're all one. Fuck all this like continents, like, oh, you're Eurasian, you're this, you're this. We are one. We are all one. So it's just more division. That's where it all gets back to. More division, more divide and conquer. That's how they do it.
I would certainly agree that billionaires exert an undue amount of influence to.
It's not about billionaires. These guys have trillionaires of money. They went back to like they knew how to do this. Because they got some kind of energy from someone who gave them an evil, like Nosferatu kind of like feeling. That's why they worship.
Way cooler if you just dropped like the conspiracy nonsense and just became a socialist.
How's it conspiracy? Okay, like look at Hollywood when they throw up all these things, they worship all like it's selling the soul, all this stuff. It's all look at Balenciaga. It's all bad. It's all the world is fucked. Like, are you sleeping still or no? Do you not wake up to this stuff? Like, do you not realize what's going on?
I do
like
understand
the people that you put your faith in and that you trusted
have power in the world that allow people to perpetuate wealth and power, and I would like to meaningfully address that through economic policy and through political action. And I think that that's doable. I just think that like you would be like way more salient and like effective if you like stopped saying like it's aliens and just started being like, yeah, billionaires have so much money and wealth and power and they can do evil things.
I'm not saying it's aliens
through socialism. You literally brought up aliens.
I'm not. No, I never want. I'm from an something. So I don't know what you want to call them. Demons, angels, whatever you want to call them. Entities.
Just go to therapy and become a socialist.
So are you just live in the 3D then? You don't know about like 4D, like higher frequencies? Have you ever meditated? Have you ever like actually experienced that, or like are you just like so down
Are you
low?
asking if I've experienced a 4D world?
I've actually, if you've like ascended and you can, that like we're spiritual bodies and that like we're not just a fucking skin. We're not just a skin costume covered in crap who came from apes. Like we're not that at all. Like, are you spiritual? Like, do you meditate? Do you go to a
I'm
higher?
I'm
Do you try and
agnostic.
raise your chakra? Do you try and elevate your consciousness at all? Do you try and evolve yourself if you believe in that? Do you do that?
I'm just agnostic. I don't really like make like positive or negative claims about things I don't have evidence for.
So you're all evidence. So you have no faith at all.
I neither have nor lack faith. I think that I'm not going to make a
Wow.
positive or negative claim about like a God existing because I don't think that you have
Take
sufficient
some
evidence for
mushrooms
either
and then
claim.
you'll take a couple grams of mushrooms. Then maybe you'll get some enlightenment and some faith. Honestly,
Oh, if that's the kind of
to
enlightenment you're
be
referring to, I've been enlightened
no, no,
before.
no. I'm just saying to have to be
I
so
didn't
like
discover aliens. I just had a
what?
fun time.
Why are you so sturdy? Like, should we have a drink or like what can I loosen you up to? Like,
To make me believe
honestly,
in
like
aliens and like a cabal that
I
rules the
don't want.
world.
Oh, you keep bringing up aliens. I'm not. So you think I'm saying aliens like some fucking spacecraft, blah blah blah. But you
Well,
believe in all
it
this
seems you had an
space.
idea of like aliens like telling the Egyptians
Yeah,
to
there
like
is.
make turn the pyramids into like giant batteries or something.
Yeah, you want me to get into that? Yeah, there's a lot of things. I believe we came from the Anunnaki, and we were hybrids. There was first the giants, and then the Tartarians, and then us. Yeah, I believe in that. I believe in the Greys, those little aliens. Y'all believe in?
What is the
Uh,
evidence for this? What's the
what
evidence
is
for
the
this?
evidence? There was a Roswell. Roswell, right there. There's your fucking evidence. You're so evident. There it is. Roswell. What is that?
I don't know. What is Roswell?
1976, when they created the fucking Constitution. That was the greatest fucking thing in humanity at that time because other fucking species came in and actually made that happen because they saw what's going. We're a prison planet, straight up.
Roswell
There's a don't.
Constitution?
Yeah, the Constitution was the greatest thing in 1796. I believe that was the year that happened
No.
to human.
1776 was the Declaration of Independence. The Constitution came, it was like 15
Okay,
years or
well, the
so afterwards.
Declaration of oh my God, that's what I said. All right, the Declaration of the. I'm
No,
not
you said the
political at all.
Constitution. You said something about I don't know what you're talking about
Whatever.
Roswell.
I'm talking about when Roswell. What happened with Roswell?
I don't know. You're the one who's making claims about Roswell.
Didn't wasn't there an alien invasion or something? You have no clue to
I have
that?
never seen any evidence that there's an alien invasion in Roswell.
The Roswell incident. You don't know nothing about that. So there's no
No, I
space
don't.
activity whatsoever throughout the whole entire world. There's no UFO. There's nothing. All right. Well, then you're a little behind, but that's okay. Yeah,
Wait.
no, I believe that.
The Roswell incident is the 1947 recovery of mundane metallic and rubber debris from a military balloon
I'm
that
talking
crashed
about
near
the
Corona, New
act.
Mexico by the United States Army Air Forces. Oh, it was just like a U.S. Air Force balloon. Okay. Oh,
Okay,
there's the
so
conspiracy
yeah.
theories section of the Wikipedia
I
page.
don't want
Got
to
it.
hear conspiracy because conspiracy theories are not even fucking. They're not conspiracies anymore. They're actually real things. If you haven't heard.
Of course, I know that you believe in every conspiracy theory. Like
I don't
you're
believe in
just
every
you're so
conspiracy theory.
easily swayed by any like conspiracy theory you
No, you're
read, but like as
so
soon as you
by the
read like a
book. You're
scientific
so
fact, it's like you can't take it in. All right,
okay. Hold
I
up.
think that we're just
So
looping around at this point. It has been fun talking with you, Justin. Highly recommend that you get therapy and become a socialist. You will be so much more productive and so much more like actually actionable in achieving your goals if you just like get therapy and become a socialist. I really recommend it. You know, there was no need to yell during this conversation. I wasn't getting worked up. So nothing to get worked up about. You know, we can have calm conversations about it. Talk to a therapist. They can help. So thank you for coming online. That was interesting. I'll leave it at that.